So we're just 35 days away from the big one. The big one being November 5th, the day of all days, the greatest of all days. And 35 in numbers comes to orb, and I used to get a lot of orbs in my shows. I get this kind of ready brick glow now around me, can you see it? And the word bond, I guess the bond is the financial bonds, and the bond of love. Bond is 35 as well. And James Bond. James is actually 48, which is Tom 48. So there you go. And we've got the C behind us, 25. Jack would be 25, as in Jack Kennedy. Guess there are other Jacks as well. But yeah, James Bond. That was on last night. The one with Kim Basinger and Sean Connery. But if you do bonds, plural, it's 54, which is love. So there you go. The bonds of love. They have to tell us, I guess, don't they? 35 days away. 35 days. It's not long, folks. 35 days. It's not long at all. It's only under 5 weeks away now. Under 5 weeks away. We'll be there before we know it. It's now October 1st. October being 78. Kennedy 78. Here we go. My nice little spot was a little occupied, but I'm going to go over there now. So, excuse me. There you go. Hey Laurie, how are you? Todd, Kathy, Staper, hey, from Netherlands, excellent. I've got my orange t-shirt on, so I've kind of burnt crisp orange t-shirt today. Got my shungite, got my purple shungite. Links are below. Shungite and orgonite. Get on Substack, my free email list. There's going to be an announcement very soon. So if you want to get the announcement first, make sure you subscribe. Just need your email, that's it. And then you're on the list, and you can always then, if anything happens, you can always be in contact with me. Can always let you know what's going on. And also last week I did the show with Ian from Activation. A lot of people were getting the product, so thank you. Hey Sharon Bushnell, what a great name. So the links are below for that as well. And I've got my pullovers on. You can't see them. I'd have to flip the video around. Trust me anyway, I've got my pullovers on, my footwear, so you can get those as well. Anyway, so 35 days away. 35, who was the 35th president? JFK. So last night I went and watched the film, The Batman. Not the Christopher Nolan Batman, which I saw just again a few weeks ago, last weekend. Not the weekend gone, the one before. But the Batman, me and Mark did a show on it in 2011, no 2021 or 2022 when it came out. I think it was 2021. Anyway, whenever it was, we did a show, which was really good. But I've seen it from a fresh pair of eyes, a fresh perspective, reminded of some things I think I saw in there, but I saw them again. Batman is 51. Which is Jasara. The Batman's 84. Arizona is 84. The word vampire is 84 actually, interesting enough. Batman plays that fine line of that vigilante. He's been tortured and scorned by the world, but he's doing something about it. And I think we can all kind of relate the whole thing of Batman in the shadows, but he's doing good, correcting, bringing justice to light. There's a big theme in there when he's talking about bringing things into the light. He talks about bringing the rat into the light. That's what President Trump does. He puts people on a pedestal, puts them in the light. Maybe not a pedestal, but he focuses on them periodically, so people can see what they're up to. Brings them into the light. There was a part as well in the film where there was a word, but then there was a part where it said C-U-E, Q. So where Batman's talking to Catwoman, Selena Kyle. It's interesting they use that name Kyle. Kyle is also in Terminator with Kyle Reese. But yeah, but you see the word Q in big red letters. Q-U-E, like the snooker cue. There's also Gotham City Garden, which is Madison Square Garden. And I've mentioned this before, but Gotham City Garden, which is based on a real place, Madison Square Garden, President Trump has said follow the Penn. It's right next to Penn Street Station. It's literally 50, 60 yards away from New Yorker Hotel. New Yorker Hotel is 194, which is September 11th. And Gotham Square Garden is also, in this instance, 194, September 11th. And the crescendo of the movie takes place on election night on Tuesday, November 5th, which is this election. And it all starts on Halloween, Thursday, 31st of October, Halloween. They don't say the year, but it's this year. That's why they've re-released the film. And everything goes down. It all happens on on November 5th, on the election night. And then, just to clarify which year it takes place in, the following day, the aftermath, is October 6th. And October 6th comes to 174, which comes to the quantum leap, which comes to currency exchange, which comes to trust the plan, which comes to Eye of the Storm, which comes to real Donald Trump, 174. And they actually say in the film, Wednesday. So Batman says it, he says Wednesday, November 6th, which comes to 274. And 274 comes to 2024. So they're telling you what year it takes place, just if you needed some more clarification. But the election is on Tuesday, November 5th. And it happens at Penn Street Station. Well, it happens at Madison Square Garden, which is right next to the Tesla building. And when you look at Madison Square Garden, it's like a button being pushed. It's like a push button. It's a big circular building. And it gets shrunk down in size because of the events that happen. There's a whole water event, which is interesting. But basically, Batman saves the day, and then they lick their wounds and they move forward. But it's interesting that they put that out. There's another part in the film which I hadn't noticed until yesterday. And the Riddler, who's the baddie in it, he's hidden. He commits a murder with this tool, and it's what the name of that tool is. And the tool is called TUCKER. See the cheeky local kids getting their kicks out of coughing over the show. Okay, it must be quite boring here, but it's beautiful here. It's not boring, but you know what I mean. So this tool, this bludgeoning tool, they note, you see it, well, it's mentioned in the first part of the film. I don't think they name it though. And then later in the film, well, they don't, because then they say TUCKER, and it's this tool, and it's a carpet tool. So you know when you want to rip up a carpet, you kind of it's this thing that rips up the lino or the carpet, the floorboard, and you can rip it open. But they make a real point of saying Tucker, and obviously I first of all think Tucker Carlson, and Tucker is 78, which is Kennedy, and it's also October. It's also the atomic number for platinum. But basically this tool they use, so the murder was committed with the Tucker tool, the carpet tool, but then they use it to unravel what the Riddler has left behind, and he's shown them what he's going to do. Now, I'm wondering if, well, it has to, you know, we're going to get to November 5th very soon, but we've got the month preceding it, which is now October, and there's a whole bunch of things happening today with Julian Assange's stuff with Basel III. There's a whole list. Ariel's done a whole list on his Twitter, but could it be that October is the uncovering month? So they uncover all this stuff that's gone on and link it together, and it's shown. That's what happens in the Batman movie. The tool, the Tucker, and who knows? Maybe Tucker Carlson actually is a big piece in the big cog in the mechanism and reveals something really quite jaw-dropping. I mean, Roseanne just done the show with him just a few days ago, where she was red pilling everyone. But this Tucker, this tool, rips open, and actually, so if you do carpet Tucker, which is the name of the tool, I think that's 141, I believe, which is Tom numbers, which is quantum leap. If you do Tucker tool, I believe that's 140 Tom numbers. The Trumps, the military, the apprentice, the quantum magic, the atonement, the apostles. But this you have to watch it, because they just really highlight the word Tucker. So there's there's Tucker Carlson. The Tucker is used to reveal something underneath the floorboards that the Riddler has put in place, which is basically his disclosure on what he's about to do. It's kind of almost too late for them to sort it out, but they do sort it out. Yeah, it really stood out to me, Tucker. But Tucker's also October, which is now. So this month could be just a massive month of disclosure. I think Roseanne had said something about that in a prayer video she just did. And even if you do, so 176 is Back to the Future, 176 is November the 5th, 176 is Full Disclosure, 176 is Full Conclusion, 176 is Real Tom Numbers, 176 is Kennedy plus Trump. Sorry, no, it's not. That's 166, which is Scooby-Doo ending, which is the White House, the simulation, the Isle of Wight. But if you do Tucker mission, if you do October mission, how about that October mission? So if mission is 98, which is also a Romanov with the V. You can spell it with the F, it takes it back to 88. But if you do 98, 9 plus 8 is 17. That's when Diana, her funeral service started, 9 plus 8. So if you do Tucker mission, if you do October mission, if you do Tucker actually independence as well, October independence, it comes to 176, which is Back to the Future, which is November the 5th. And that's the date that this whole episode takes place in Madison Square Garden, which is Gotham Square Garden, because they change the name. Gotham Square Garden is 194, which is September 11th, which is New York Hotel, and it's only 50-60 yards away, and I've been there, I've seen it. There's a light on a hill. I can see a light right in the distance, flashing right on the top of the hill. I've never seen that before. It's confirming what I'm saying. Just up there, you probably won't be able to see it, but just up there there's a little light flashing. in real life, or in this this timeline we're in, Madison Square Garden comes to 205, which comes to on November the 5th. Comes to Diana November the 5th. Diana, full disclosure. It comes to my dear grandmother, Eileen Mary Adelaide Wood, 205. So I've known that number for a while. But President Trump says follow the pen. Spider-Man, which I saw last week, Spider-Man No Way Home, and the one before it, Far From Home. So at the end of Far From Home, the Spider-Man Part 2, his identity is revealed from Madison Square Garden by Mr. What's his name? Mysterio, the Jake Gyllenhaal character. And on the public screen, he announces to the world, to Manhattan and all the news networks, that who Spider-Man is, Peter Parker. But it's done at Madison Square Garden. And then Madison Square Garden is a key point in the film The Batman, and it's literally right there next to New Yorker Hotel. There's a reason that those things have been put in those films, and there's a reason they correlate with those dates, and there's a reason they were showing us what they were showing us, and we're going to find out very soon. 121 in the chat, which is Revelation. There you go. Second coming. Who's second coming? The Trump. And 58 thumbs up. 58 is Ivanka. I met Ivanka in this lifetime in Manhattan. Manhattan's 92 numbers. And that's the line in the sand when I can pinpoint when the numbers started. Started then, but then the alphanumeric relationship, as you know the numbers now, that started in lockdown. So there it is, folks. I need to watch that Batman film again, because there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. And it's also very interesting how they weave the whole scenario of the city of Gotham. Gotham is 64, which is Tenet. It's Israel, it's Zion, it's Jubilee. It's also the word spell. So Gotham City at one level is also spell city, or human spell, which comes to 121. But there's with everything's being reversed, and so you can see the effects of Gotham. The layers upon layers upon layers are getting revealed. They're getting brought into the light, getting revealed, and that's what the overriding story of Batman is in that particular film, about bringing the rats into the light so they're exposed. And I think we're going to see, well, we have to see major things in this month of October as we lead in to November 5th. So it's going to be mega. It's going to be mega, folks. And I'm looking forward to seeing it all, just as you ladies and gents are. So anyway, I'll see you soon. Get your shungite and your orgonite. Get your links. It's an interesting question. I'm not sure. I've never looked into that. Something's coming. We have ideas of what's coming, but it's going to be a joy to behold when it comes. Get on Substack. There's going to be an announcement very soon on there. So, and yeah. I saw this one today. I'll share this one with you in closing. So Tenet, they talk about the temporal pincer movement. The temporal pincer movement is temporal pincer movement is 272. So it's the red team and the blue team, one working forward and the other one working back, and they meet in the middle, and everything gets resolved. But if you do the Tenet is also 64, which is American, which is Zion, which is Israel, which is Jubilee, Gotham. 8 times 8 is 64. We Were Still Loving When I Was 64, the Beatles song. But when you do the Tenet temporal pincer movement, it comes to 369 in numbers. So Tesla physics has been and is continually being involved and used and utilized in this time, and we'll understand it as we go through it more. But I've seen things in the last 4 years that I didn't know were possible, and I think many of you watching have seen and sensed things that you didn't know were possible, and it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Hey Peggy, it's just the beginning. Johnson is 95, Tuesday. Greatest emergency. That's when the election is, Tuesday. All right, everyone, much love. I will see you tomorrow, where we will be down to 34 days. 34 days, can you believe that? 34. 34. 34, eh? 34 is Leap, 34 is Grace, 34 is DJT, 34 is Neo. Oh, on the front of the paper, I did tweet about it. So I was talking to my brother on Sunday evening about Keanu Reeves. Obviously he's in the Matrix. But lo and behold, today's paper, front of the newspaper, there's Keanu Reeves, and they're saying that the Matrix is real. That the Bible can prove it as well. That's what it says. So they're blending the Matrix with the Bible and all that goes with that. So we live in wonderful times, everyone. Alrighty, I will see you tomorrow. God bless. Much love. Take care. Bye.